Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 43rd episode of Grave Matters, a round coffin discussion of all things horror. I'm CreepyClownGirl. Alongside of me is Filia Noctis and the Sleeping Wendigo. Hello, you guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are the both of you today?
Doing good.
I'm alive.
Right?
That's all that matters.
here.
I'm here.
Right, and before I make this next announcement, why don't we see who's in the chat? And before we
We got
introduce
lots
who our
of
guests
people's
are.
in the chat. Let's see. We've got Mandy Mortem. Hi,
Hi,
Mandy.
Mandy.
And we've got, it won't let me click on the button. We've got Sir Creepington Pasta. He just popped in.
Hi, Sir Creepington.
Here's Death.
Hi.
Midnight Researcher.
Hi, Midnight.
Derringer's here. Hi, Derringer.
Hi, Derringer. Hello, PA Nightmares.
The PA is here, and we've got Patience, of course.
Hi, Patience.
And Dexter's here.
Hi, Dex.
And it looks like everybody,
Okay.
from what I can tell.
So I'm going to
I
make
think that's
this.
everybody.
Is it? Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
going to make this announcement, and then we'll introduce our guests for tonight. For those of you that do not know, Being Scared, he tweeted this out the other day. He's also the creator of Chilling. The tweet reads, "Attention authors, I will now be paying authors $20 for each story that is featured on my YouTube channel, Being Scared." Please check that channel out. Submit your true scary stories here. I put this his subreddit in chat. It is also in the tweet on Twitter. The guidelines for this is must be true, must be your story, must be believable, must be scary, and please retweet. This tweet will have his subreddit. Be sure to submit to him, or join him, retweet his tweet, and if you have any true scary stories that are believable, send them to him on his subreddit or to his email. So that's my announcement. So let's introduce who's here.
That's $20 per story if it's featured. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That is
also,
very interesting.
it is. And also, anyone that has submitted a story to him that their story was featured on his show in the past will also be reached out to. So,
Oh wow, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
so Wendigo, who's our guest today?
So today on Grave Matters, we got Midnight Bard and Jay. Welcome,
Hello,
guys.
guys.
Hello.
Gentlemen, welcome both
Hey.
of you.
Hey there, it's good to be here again.
Awesome.
That's been a bit.
It
It has.
has.
We missed you.
Yeah. I haven't been meaning to be a stranger, but I've been keeping very, very busy.
Oh, do tell.
Well, yeah, like for example, me and Jay just finished a project together here. He was the author of a book that we wanted to talk about tonight, and I had the pleasure of being the narrator for that on
Awesome.
Audible. So
Wow,
Mhm.
that's pretty cool.
And
he did a fantastic job, by the way.
It was
That is
extremely challenging because you did put like a wide cast of characters in there. And this was the first time that I really do have to say that I felt like this was the first time that I hit my own stride whenever it came to audiobooks. And I was very pleased with the way that it came out. And you really did provide some awesome content for me to flex some of my different voices on.
You really did do an excellent job. So
Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah,
Well, that's awesome.
it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, by all means, and please, if you do get a chance to listen to it, do leave a good review. We had a troll jump in really early, like this was like on release day, isn't that right, Jay?
yeah, it was because I remember messaging you going, "Really, a 1-star
Yeah.
review?"
Yeah, one guy jumped on just to be a jerk, and just left a 1-star review. Didn't leave a title to his review. Didn't give a reason to why he was leaving a bad review. He's just saying, you know what? I don't care. 1 star, walk away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And they say that you know that the measure of your success is how many haters you got.
Right.
So I feel like that's a good start because like if there's people out there that are giving us a hard time, it's because we're doing something right.
That's the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if he had to waste an Audible credit on that, that's fine.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Yep, exactly.
So, Jay, have you written other books?
Not yet. Well, I haven't published anything else yet. So the Barons, which is the book that me and Bard worked on, is the first one I've actually published. I've got several others in the work, and I've actually already spoken to Bard about my next one that's coming out.
Which is exciting. It's in a different genre from what I hear. You mentioned that it was a murder mystery.
Yeah, so it's a murder mystery. It's going to be written from 2 different points of view, mainly from a third person kind of narrator point of view, but then there's also sections and chapters where it takes over from the killer's perspective.
Oh, cool.
It's really good.
Yeah, so you got to look forward to that.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, Serafin, for those watching and who may be watching later that may not be familiar with you, could you please tell us a little bit about your persona, your channel, and its content, and how you got your name?
Sure. Let's see. So, my persona has always been that of a just kind of a mysterious storyteller. And the whole idea behind the character that I created to be the host of my channel was I love the Twilight Zone and how it would always start off with a small narration telling you about the story that you were about to see. And there's a whole host of different what's come to be known as horror hosts that do precisely that. That it'll be a person sitting before the camera telling you about the story that you're about to hear, or telling you about the theme of the story that you're about to hear. Things that come to mind off the top of my head would be like, I mentioned the Twilight Zone. There's the Crypt Keeper. There's the guy who, I forget his name, but Jonathan Frakes, who did Factor Beyond Belief, Factor Fiction. And, even Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. They would show up at the beginning of a scary story to give you a little taste of what was coming. And, they were memorable each in their own way, and it's kind of something that I wanted to create. So, my channel, I was going to do the horror narrations that everyone here in the horror community is so familiar with. But I wanted to add that little spin to it. I wanted to put a character in front of the narration who would talk to you, who would welcome you and tell you about what you were about to get into without telling you exactly what the story was. And it's given me a lot of practice in writing, because each one of the intros to all of my videos were written by me. And then I have to enter into the persona of Serafin, the Midnight Bard, the name of which, by the way, came because originally I just wanted to be the Midnight Bard. The Midnight Bard being, midnight because it's a scary time, that's the witching hour. And Bard, that's a storyteller, But there was another Midnight Bard already on YouTube. So, the fun thing here was he'd been inactive for 3 years at the time that I started my channel. And I thought to myself, you could just call yourself that and see how long it takes for him to make a big deal out of it. Or you could add a name in front of it and just kind of see if that slides under the radar. So I added the name in front of it, Serafin being my grandfather's name. And just kind of took off from there, basically.
It's an awesome name.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, he was very, very Spanish.
Great channel, great content, and great voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Now, Jay, have you any experience in the horror narration area?
Not in horror narration. I did try my hand at audiobook narration, and I can respect the quality that Bard put out, because holy crap, that the recording part is fine. It's that editing that is just ungodly.
Yeah, no kidding. Me and Jay had a conversation about this where I told him, I love the recording. That's fun. But
yes.
the editing is oh my gosh, if I could find a way so that I could record it all in one take and not look back,
Yep.
I would do that every time.
But
Oh
then
yeah,
every time
if only.
and every time you turn around, it's like, oh, there's a breath there. Oh, I paused too long.
Yeah.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
it was
something
in the background made a noise. You're like, oh, come on.
I don't know. I don't know about this on your end, Jay, but usually whenever I get a contract over Audible, they give you about 3 or 4 months to complete the book once you've accepted. So do you set that, or is that something that's just automatic?
So yeah, so it automatically gives you a time frame based on the length of the book.
Okay.
But then you can extend it. So I think when we originally made the deal, it wanted you to finish the book at Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And I was like, no. First off, it's the holidays. You don't do that to people. And second off, I was like, okay. I knew personally how long it took to edit a book, and I was like, Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just move that on down. And it's not like it doesn't make it a hard deadline. So it'll just send me a note and say like, he's behind schedule.
I gotcha. I always kind of wondered because, at first, like my very first outing, it gave me about 3 months, and it was a very short book, shorter than the Barons is. And I thought to myself, man, that's too much time. I'll get this done within a week. And immediately afterwards, I was like, oh, good God, I'm gonna take the entire 3 months, aren't I?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. You run down to the wire on those deadlines because you don't think you're gonna take the entire time. You end up taking all of it.
You do.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But how exciting! So, do you want to tell us a little bit about what the book is, or
Sure.
a little bit
Yeah, we can
about
both
the
do
book?
that. We can
And
both actually
did you
add
guys-
into that.
Did you guys consider maybe reading a passage for us?
That guy can.
Sure. I mean, yeah. If you're okay with it, Jay.
little bit later.
Yeah,
on?
absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Okay, a little bit
Okay.
later on in the that would be awesome. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
tell us about the book.
So the book, and I'll actually take this quote from Bard because he's the one that said this. He's like, it reminded me of like an old '80s slasher film,
Oh.
and that's kind of what I had in mind. I'm a little bit older. I'm not gonna date myself, but I grew up with the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Streets playing in the background. But yeah, so I wanted to write something that was just, to me, it was a little different than what I was reading out there, and it just kind of came to me, the whole idea. I love the supernatural and paranormal and stuff like that, and the New Jersey Devil was just always something that kind of jumped out, and I was like, you don't really hear a lot about the New Jersey Devil. He just kind of gets thrown to the wayside for Bigfoot, and I said, well, I'm gonna write a story about that. So, the story, I'll give you a brief synopsis, is some kids win a trip. They go up there. Shenanigans ensue. And they end up with the New Jersey Devil, obviously being the antagonist. And there's like a cult following around this creature. And, it takes it back. I don't know. It's harder to explain than I thought.
Yep.
I mean, that's really it, though. I mean, it's a very basic story. Guess I'm kind of cutting on myself there, but it's there's not a whole lot to it. I mean, it really is reminiscent of those '80s slasher films because the premise is, hey, kids, they party in the woods, and guess what happens? You never had sex at Camp Crystal Lake.
Right. Right. Yep. That meant you were dying in the next, few minutes.
Right. You were
Yeah.
getting
Always.
you were getting balled up in a sleeping bag and thrown against a tree. I mean, it was just plain and
Yeah.
simple.
Or, knife up through the bottom of the mattress.
Yeah.
Up through your throat.
And I did have a co-author on the book, and originally there was a whole other plot line that we ended up cutting out that kind of revolved around some government cover-up and this, that, and the other, and it felt a lot like Cabin in the Woods or something like that at the time, and we kind of cut that out, and I don't know if it would have made it better. It was originally around 60,000 words with all that in there, and
Goodness.
cutting that out. Yeah, and cutting that out put it down to, I don't know, about 45,000 words or so. So, I mean, Bard could probably tell you if that would have made it better or not, but I don't know.
I think it's fantastic as is, and the one comparison that I keep throwing on it is that if you guys like Jeepers Creepers, it's a lot like that. You got your station, and there's something in the woods that's got its eye on them, and it ends up being a lot of you always know are whenever they're backed into a corner, and these characters all show you exactly who they are whenever like the dice are down. It's just it's a lot of you're wondering, okay, well, they've been friends forever. Who's gonna keep that loyalty whenever they're facing down this demon of the woods, and some will surprise you, and some like that you think it doesn't go in line of like what's gonna happen every single moment. It's very like characters will act in ways and it's really amazing.
Thank you.
To make a kind of a funny right there on that, if any of you are lost in the woods and expecting to survive, don't expect PA Nightmares to help you.
Yeah.
He's already said, hey, if it comes to me or someone else, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's just self-preservation.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think a human's first response if they're lost in a group in the woods would be to stick together. But if that's what PA wants to do, he can get eaten by a mountain lion.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the black bears he could scare away, but mountain lions are going to get his ass. They're not scared of nothing.
And they come from behind.
They do. They're ambush predators. Okay, so, Cece, do you have any questions? I've been hogging it.
How about Wendigo?
All right. Oh, I didn't know.
So
hit me with it. I'm an open
We caught
book.
him unprepared.
You can ask me literally anything.
Unprepared. Yep.
All right. Well,
I had another one if you need a second.
All right. Here we go. Since starting your channel and where it is now, where do you see your channel going?
Well, I started my channel basically as practice. My entire thing was that summer when the outbreak happened, I got furloughed from my job, so I was sitting home. And by the way, this is just like the worst timing on literally everything because I had just gotten married, and then a pandemic breaks out. We had just rented our first apartment together, and a pandemic breaks out. And I had just developed a heart condition, and a pandemic breaks out. And then my job says, you know what, we can't keep you. So, luckily, so it was just like the perfect storm of all the worst things happening all at once. My wife does work for a hospital, so she got to keep her job because she was essential. But she'd be gone for like upwards of like 14, 16 hours at a time, which left me at home by myself with nothing but time. And, like a lot of people during that time, it kind of dawned on me that, you know what, I've been working in automotive for the past 10 years, and honestly, I don't like it here. Why am I still here, And so I started looking into different things that I wanted to do, and time ago, I was a huge fan of still am a huge fan of movies, of performing, theater, things of the like. I was, your theater kid in high school. So I thought to myself, well, how about acting? And particularly, I'm a huge fan of animation. So I thought to myself, oh, you know what? How about voice acting? I started looking into it, and that's how my channel got started, because I was a huge fan of different horror narrators, like, for example, the Dark Somnium. I've said a million times that he was the one that I would listen to all the time while I was at work. So with that said, I thought to myself, okay, so we'll get into voice acting, and the way that we're going to do it is by doing this thing that I've heard a narrator do that I love, and I'm going to try my hand at it. I'm going to learn how to edit, how to fix audio levels, basically how to do your basic sound engineering. And at the same time, I'll be practicing, doing long reads and stuff like that. So that's how my channel came to be. And when I say that I didn't expect to not only get all the attention that I did, but also to make friends with so many different acquaintances that I did not expect to make. I mean, it's really been a blessing. It really has. And as of now, like, unfortunately, I've been on a long hiatus because editing audiobooks takes a lot of effort. And the reading, like I said, not a problem. So usually while I'm reading, while I'm making my way through a book, I usually can put out a video while I'm doing that. However, whenever I go into edit mode, now I can't put out a video at all. So recently I've been editing the book that came immediately after Jay's. So I've been kind of quiet on that front, but I'm on the last chapter of that, so I'm looking forward to start putting up more content. I'm also working on a trailer for the Barons that I will be posting on my channel as soon as I'm finished with it. So there's just, where do I want it to go is I would love it if it could become a thing, like a platform for me to do more performing, more creepypasta narrations, but maybe some original work. I did dabble with the idea of being an author in the past, and one of the most liked and most commented stories that is on my channel is one that I wrote myself, which is the Exerfist. So yeah, I know.
Wait, Exerfist?
The Exerfist. Yes.
Okay, just making sure I heard that right.
Yeah,
I
so
love that title.
and it's a story that came about because a friend of mine, we were chatting about scary movies, and we had different opinions on what was scary. So he kept saying, slasher movies are scary because they're real. Like at any point, anyone can pick up a knife and make your life a nightmare. And I disagreed. I said that it was scarier to face things that you couldn't fight back. Like, so for example, ghosts and demons. And
Right.
I've actually, like, I've practiced martial arts since high school, since I was a freshman in high school. So I'm not unbeatable by any means, but I'm pretty confident in the way that I handle myself. So I said, yeah, I would any day of the week choose to take on a maniac with a knife over a demon that I couldn't do anything to. And he says,
Right.
you're just scared of things you can't punch. And I said, exactly. So so the story, the Exerfist, is I gave a character that exact power. Like, this is a guy who can punch ghosts and demons. And that's how that came about. But so yeah, I would love it if my channel was became a more founded platform for where I can put a lot of my performing work and a lot of my own original writings also.
Awesome. That's amazing. And for you, Jay, you're an author. You've tried your hand at narrating, but where do you see yourself going? And will you stay in the same genre of writing the type of books that you are? Or what's your future goal?
So, yeah, do I see myself in the same genre? Not permanently. I don't want to fix myself to just one type of book, and, I'm out there, I'm using my real name, I'm not going to use a pen name and write something else. I write what I enjoy. Like I was telling y'all earlier, my next book is like a murder mystery thriller. I've got some other stuff in the work. I got one that's kind of based on some reject superheroes. I've got another that I've got outlined about some kind of world-ending, I don't know, think Terminator kind of style AI takeover that's in the works. So for me, to be honest, I'd love for people to read my book. That's honestly all I ever cared about with that is, aside from my wife and close friends, just somebody out there in the world to read it and go, that was okay. I like this guy.
I've been
That's
sharing
real.
your audiobook link, so
All right.
Yeah, the Terminator idea sounds really awesome. I'm a huge fan of that genre of work, so I mean, I'm excited to hear more about that.
Yeah, and that would be more of a series, like maybe a 6-book series, and I've got like the first few chapters written, and that's kind of how it goes. Bard, you said you wrote a few things, and it's like it's difficult. So the Barrens is, like I said, it ended up being about 45,000 words, and I could almost guarantee I worked on that intermittently for several years. And in a very similar situation to what he went through, I got furloughed. I'm in the automotive industry also.
Oh, nice.
We may have worked for the same people. Based on the timeline, I'm thinking we may have worked for the same company.
Oh, man.
But, that kind of is what took me to start writing that book. And we came off of furlough in June or whatever of that year. And so I kind of had to take a pause from writing and get back to work because I was going broke. And, so that's why it took several years to just kind of get it going. You work all day, you come home and maybe write a few paragraphs, maybe write a chapter if you're lucky.
Right.
It doesn't always flow. I was actually on the other book, the mystery book I'm working on. The other day I sat down at the laptop and a chapter just flows out of my hands. Like a very
Awesome.
descriptive, like just an awesome chapter just flows right out of my hands. And then I sat down, I think it was yesterday, and I got like 5 words on there, and I was like, well, crap.
Don't you hate that? Because I write poetry, and it wasn't until I came into the horror community that, I started writing stories, and it's like, you want me to take a poem and make a story. I'm like, yeah, okay. Brain's like, no, this ain't happening. But so other than Bard, has there been any other horror narrators in the horror community, like, say Dr. Creepin, that you might have reached out and asked if he or someone else as well would be interested in narrating one of your books?
So I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I didn't even know that this whole community existed until I met Bard. And when I did, I started jumping around. I was like, wow, I've been missing out.
Surprise.
So, and I went back and listened to a lot of his stuff, so what I did is I put it up on the Audible Creation Exchange. You put your book up there, and then people basically audition for you. And there was like 4 people that auditioned, and I listened to all of them, and for some reason his portrayal of the main character, Taman, just really, really took me, and I was like, that's the guy. And just from a few messages back and forth, he told me what he did, about his YouTube channel, and I kind of went and looked, and I was like, and I kind of stumbled upon a few others, and just listening to them, and I'll listen to them at work, on lunch or whatever when I'm sitting in the car, and it's interesting stuff.
Oh, thank you.
I highly urge you to reach out to, I know they have to audition for you,
Mm-hmm.
But if you have anyone in future mind, Dr.
Yeah.
Creepin.
Oh, I was just going to say that, Dr.
Yeah.
Creepin.
Dr. Creepin. I'll send you Dr. Creepin's YouTube channel. You're just going to fall in love with that man's voice, and he's similar to Bard. They both have that great disposition when it comes to how they use their voice for characters.
Yeah, and that's the thing is there's a lot of really talented people here in the community. So I mean, like
There
any
is.
work that you're working on, I guarantee you will find a voice for it, 100%.
Right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Even
but
being scared. I mean, there's many of them, Gothic Rose even.
I've been
Yes,
compared to Dr. Creepin a lot, and here the sad thing is, like I always know of him because we run in the same circles, but I haven't had the pleasure of hearing any of his work, I'm afraid.
What? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'll have to fix that immediately, 100%.
Same here.
Yes, you will.
I will put Dr. Creepin's YouTube channel here in the chat. Feel free to grab it.
Yeah, I'd be excited to work with him if I ever get the chance too. I mean, like I've been compared to him so much that I'm at this point I'm like, no, we got to do something together. Absolutely.
Dr. Creepin said in his interview, he said that just reach out to him. He's willing to work with everyone. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
it basically said if you've got a story and a part, let him know and he'll read it.
Oh, I'm excited.
But he doesn't want people to just say, "Hey, we need to work together. Find something for me to do for you."
Yeah.
You have to come with story in hand.
Yeah.
right.
I am working on the Exerfist Part 2.
Yeah.
I call it the
Well, if you need a
Exerfist
British
2
dude.
goes from. Yeah, he is a British dude. Okay, that works.
Yes.
I have a character in mind for him.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Awesome.
I just put Dr. Creepin, and I hope to God I spelled that right. But there is his YouTube.
Okay. I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, I
He's
think
awesome.
I think you spelled it right.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sis, do you have another question? Then when to go, and then I'll ask another question.
I was, yeah. So y'all are in this community where we have ghosts and goblins and ghoulies and cryptids and every kind of sick individual you can imagine. Do you guys believe in the paranormal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever had any experiences?
Oh man, I grew up in a house that was, shoot man, back in the 80s it was 100 years old, and there was always some just weird stuff. My mom used to tell me when I got older, she was like, I used to hear babies crying in the bathroom, and yeah, I remember waking up one morning and my bedroom was way back in the corner of the house, and my parents' bedroom was off of the living room. And I remember coming in one morning before they had woken up, and the rocking chair's just sitting there rocking by itself. I was like,
Oh,
you
no.
know what?
Mm-mm.
I was like, you know what? I'm going back to bed. This is not, no, not today. Not today. And you know, stuff like that. But that was kind of the norm, you know, in that house. And old houses make noises, and I'm sure, you know, if I dug deep enough, maybe I could find a rational explanation for some of that stuff. But there was just always like odd noises and just cold drafts and stuff like that. And you know, when a lady comes out there that's like 80 or whatever, and she's like, I was born in this house, it's like, geez Louise, you know, the things that happened, you know, around that area is just crazy. And it's in a very close to like an old Civil War battlefield and this, that, and the other in Georgia.
That
so,
explains it.
yeah, probably does.
So it could have even seen like maybe a little bit of light hospital use or something.
I don't. Well, the house wasn't built during that, but the whole area. I grew up on a farm, and there was a plantation house. I don't know, maybe a half a mile down the road. So a lot of that area was all part of that plantation.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So it's quite possible maybe that house was. There wasn't much left of it. Like it was a massive house, and all that was left was really the chimneys on each side. And funnily enough, the slave quarters were still standing. But
Oh.
yeah, the rest of the house was just destroyed, and so there's no telling what happened in that area.
Gosh.
Yeah. It's always the Civil War places that are the most haunted, I feel. Like, you know, I've never heard of a place that was near Civil War battles that didn't have some manner of ghost haunting it.
Right.
Yeah.
PA's got one that just sends shivers down your spine, but that's what you get for not listening.
He
Anyway,
lives by Gettysburg.
Mm?
Oof.
Yeah, that's true. PA's right off of Gettysburg.
Right.
Yeah.
He was told not to cross the, go somewhere, and he ended up doing it. And, well, needless to say, a ghost fired at him. Bullet
Ghost
was in
fired
by
his
his head.
musket at PA.
Yeah.
Don't go back there. I told you not to go back there.
You're right. We told you.
Do not cross this line, PA. I'm gonna cross this line anyway. Gets fired at by ghost.
Oh my gosh. So Wendigo. Awesome
Every week,
answers
someone will
so
get the
far,
chance
you
to win a
guys.
free Exerfist NFT.
Oh, speaking of that, Chronopasta is also doing a giveaway for NFTs as well. So go check his Twitter out and read his tweets. And hello, Josie and HN.
And just to let y'all know, my Chris is in the chat room. She showed up.
Hi,
So
Chris.
I need to give a shout out to my Chris. She's my Chris, not anybody else's. It's my Chris. And she turned 50 on Sunday. So everybody wish Christine Baker a very happy 50th birthday.
Happy
Hi, Chris.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday. So Wendigo, do you have a question for Bard and Jay?
Yes. When it comes to your narration styles and delivery, what are y'all's biggest strengths and weaknesses?
And Jay, for you, it would be your writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know this one by heart because I'm constantly having to do this over and over and over again. My weakness is I have a hard time pronouncing words with the TS sound at the end. So, like for example, the word lists with like a plural of list. For some reason, it always ends up like with a small whistle because my teeth are very not cooperative. So, like I'll have to read the same line over and over. It's like, oh well, she looked over her lists, and I just keep doing it, and I'm like, oh, it drives me crazy. It's gotten to the point where I'll just like say it as it comes out, and then I'll just edit it in post. Just like, okay, fix it once it's over. But right now, I'm literally sitting here reading the same word over and over and over again. Biggest strength, I don't know. I don't want to say accents because a lot of my accents are very they're a little stereotypical. Although I do the Spanish accent quite well, being of Latin heritage, I feel.
Yes.
Like
And your
Montoya.
voice. And your voice.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. For me, and by the way, Bard, definitely you got the Spanish accent down pat there. But for me, I think my biggest strength as far as writing goes is my imagination. Like, somebody asked me one day, like, how I came up with ideas for books. I was like, honestly, a lot of it is from dreams, and dreams that I remember. It's like I'll just have something pop into my head, and it's like I got to write this down, and it'll kind of go from there. That's how the Barrens came to be. Is I just kind of had a dream about this demon, and I was like, you know what, sold. We'll put you on paper. My biggest weakness is actually getting it done.
Right?
Writer's block is a real thing, and
It is.
It's terrible, and there's no good way to fight it other than to just power through it. But I feel like if you power through it, you may not be putting down the best quality on the paper.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a writer's block, and I've got currently 11, 12, 13, 14 writing projects going. Don't hate me, people. Sorry.
No. I'm with you. Like,
Yeah, I got one I'm working on, and then me and Cece have a couple that we're working on at the same time.
In
You guys
fact,
are working
one
on
of-
boobies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we got it to 1,000, and
Nice.
So hopefully, starting Monday, we'll be able to get back to it. But yeah, it's turning out really good. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you could see my Google Docs and all the stuff I have written in there, you'd be like, wow,
Right?
he's got like 20 projects in here.
Right?
Yeah, no lie. Same thing, Jay. Like my Google Docs are full of stories that I started but have never finished.
Yep.
And in my head, I keep telling myself, you know what? If each of these was a chapter, I'd have a novel ready. Let's
You
go.
would, yeah.
Well, speaking of chapters, for both of you, you're writing an autobiography. Which chapter in that autobiography would you use to sell your book?
Oh man, chapter 1, because most people don't make it past that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's the same with YouTube videos or anything. It's, you know, most people's attention span these days is 8 minutes. You know,
Agreed.
so if you can't spit it out, you like the first line of the book will be "Buy my book," and you just go from there.
Right.
I like that.
That's funny.
I'd have to say somewhere along the middle because I feel like my comedic timing doesn't kick in until like around my mid-20s. So
Oh man, yeah.
yeah, like you know,
Yeah.
like when I was younger, I thought I was funny. I was just obnoxious. So there came a point where it was just kind of like, you know what, funny things are happening, and instead of like being embarrassed about it, you just kind of learn to go with it, you know, and that you don't get that when you're young. So for me, I'd be like somewhere around chapter 24. We're gonna sell, like, with the story of me working at the pharmacy and the kid outing his father as he likes to dress up and drag.
Oh,
Yeah, that was that was bad, man. I mean, I swear, I'm just trying to like ring this lady up, and her kid is just kicking and screaming. You know, she eventually gets fed up with it, and she just looks at him and is like, "Why can't you be normal?" And the kid just says, "I can't be normal. My dad dresses like a lady." I had to look away real fast because I felt that lady turn beet red and then look directly at me, and I was like, nope. You know, like, I can't make eye contact. I can't say anything. This is bad. I'm like, hey, look, I'm a college kid. I need this job. I cannot get fired for laughing. So, you know, just like real quick, just like clammed up, and I just kept looking at the register like it was the most interesting thing in life at that point. I was like, I need to. No.
Oh, look, that's where the S button is. Okay.
I think I found you a coupon. Let me get you that right up.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
that was yeah. Immediately after she left, I had to like call up my boss. I was like, "You will not believe what this kid just say."
That's funny.
It was crazy, man. And you know, like, kudos to the mom, because I mean, like, clearly she is very aware of what was going on, but you know, she wasn't ready for him to out her like that, you know.
Lord.
not a pharmacy.
Yeah. It
I'll
was
never
bad.
forget.
Yeah, that's holy cow.
I'll
But-
never forget my oldest daughter. She was like a year and a half. We're in the grocery store. Okay. Usually about a year and a half. And oh my God. And she goes, Mommy, you know, because she's a kid, as loud as she could. She goes, "Can I have no nuts? No nuts." And I was like, "Oh no, you didn't." And she's pointing right at donuts. And she's calling them no nuts.
Oh no. Little kids, man. I mean, they're a gold mine for comedy. They really are.
Yes.
They are.
But she was pointing right at the donuts, you know, and it's like, no.
Some of the funniest things I've ever heard comes out of a child's mouth, and it's funny.
So
Yeah.
true.
It's just like you'll be like with family, and the next thing you know, one of the children will come and say something funny. It's like you can't help but laugh.
You really
Yeah.
can't. I don't know how you kept your composure. I really don't. Hello, Gamma.
Yeah, well, I mean, the composure was strictly kept because I needed to keep my job. I'm like, college is expensive.
Right.
So I was like, I cannot afford to laugh right now. I gotta look literally anywhere else.
So, sis, do you have a question for Bard and Jay?
No.
Okay,
Sorry,
I got
caught
one.
me unaware. Caught me off guard. Didn't know it was my turn.
Yeah,
Go on to
yes.
the next one, and I'll get a question. Find one.
Okay, Wendigo, go ahead. If you don't, I got one.
All right. For new and or upcoming narrators, what are some strong advice you could offer them to help them succeed? And Jay, for you, it would be, instead of narrator, it'd be writers.
Yep.
I gotta think about this one. Why don't you go ahead, Jay?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. You do have to think about that. What advice could I give you? As far as writing goes, like I said, a lot of my ideas fall from dreams, or maybe it's something I see or whatever. My biggest piece of advice is write it down immediately before you forget. Even if it's just a small idea or something simple, you never know where it'll go. So even something as stupid as, oh, there's a red cup on the table. If it strikes you for inspiration, you better write that shit down, because you will forget it.
That's like my Palm Wars dream. Would take me 5.5 years to write it, and over 20, 5.5 years to write it. So I totally get that.
Yeah, because if you're just gonna if you're an aspiring author or whatever, and there's a lot of them out there, because just go to Amazon and look at a book in any genre, you'll find 1,000 authors writing the same stuff. You just got to find something to set yourself apart from the rest of them.
Right.
And when I find that, I'll let you guys know.
Same. So we'll go ahead and see if Bard can answer, and then if it's okay, if Bard would like to read an excerpt from the book.
Yeah.
Sure. So I would say that a lot of this comes from the best advice that I can give is just go ahead and do it. There's a lot of things that'll tell you that you shouldn't. There's a lot of things that'll tell you that it's not going to be any good. There's a lot of people who will tell you that it's not going to be any good. That there's 100,000 different actors out there. What's gonna guarantee that you're the one that's gonna get it right? There's 100,000 YouTubers. What's gonna guarantee that you're the one that breaks out? And honestly, it can be a little bit embarrassing sometimes. You'll go back and listen to some of your earlier work, and you'll think, "Wow, I really wasn't bringing my A game there." But that's part of the learning process. You have to be okay with being a little bit embarrassed at first. It's the first step to getting any kind of good, is being really bad at first. So if it's bad, don't even worry about it. The more you do it, the better you'll get. And if something or somebody tells you that that you shouldn't try because it's too hard, just kind of ignore that. Try anyway. It will be hard at first. There's no denying that. But again, just like with the embarrassment, the more you do it, the better you get, the quicker you get. Like I said, I didn't feel like I hit my stride with audiobooks until I read Jay's, and Jay's was the third one. The first two, oh my goodness, were a nightmare. Like, there was so many production problems, and there was days where I'd get up and I'd be like, I don't even want to try anymore. That is so much work. But here on my third outing, now I'm like, I got this. Like, I figured out the process. I figured out the way I gotta do it, and I have it down to a system. So definitely try. Don't let anyone tell you not to. Don't let the embarrassment hold you back. And one last thing, have fun with it. 100% just cut loose. I mean, this is essentially, as a narrator, is essentially performing, you know, and the best way to perform is to lose yourself in the role. So cut loose, get right into it, and, you know, have fun with it.
Good advice. And another good advice is for new and upcoming narrators. Very important also to remember that if it is not your story and you find a story that you're going to narrate, please make sure that you get permission from the author, and that in the description of your videos and in your video that you give proper credit to the authors. If you use someone else's music, give them credit. Make sure you give credit where credit is due. Otherwise, you will get blacklisted. And not only that, but it looks bad on everyone in the horror community or any community.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Very true.
I came into the community just like extremely terrified that I was gonna make a faux pas. So like a lot of my before launch, because it was important to me that I launch on Halloween week. So the entire month preceding that, I spent it researching to find out what everyone else was doing. You know, I was like, I'm not gonna come into this and then do something that everybody just looks at me like I'm a black sheep now. I'm a troublemaker just coming in. So there is the subject, no, it's full of resources that you can use. So that
You're roboting hard.
Am I now?
Yeah, you're roboting.
Yes.
A little bit better.
A little bit better, yes.
Okay. Anyway, if you get in touch with anyone in the that's a narrator, everyone that I've met is extremely kind, extremely helpful, and they're all more than happy to share any resources with you. I've never come across anybody that I asked, hey, can you help me out with something in this community? And they turned me away. Literally everybody is here to help, and it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a pretty good community.
Yes, we do. And Raven says, if it helps Serafin, I did the same thing.
Launch Halloween or the same thing as research.
You're roboting again, Bard.
Oh. I apologize.
It's
Like, okay. Am I better now?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Okay, good.
So, would you be interested in reading, with Jay's permission, with an excerpt from the story?
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I found one particular part in the book that was one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read a little bit here, see what you guys think. And I will remind you that I might stutter through this. A lot of my stuttering is taking out during post. So.
It's
All
fine.
right. So from the Barons.
You're roboting.
Oh no.
Oh, bummer. Are you with us, Bard?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're
Okay,
a little
am I-
staticky. You're a little staticky, but I can hear you.
Okay. Am I still roboting out of curiosity?
No. No,
Okay,
No,
great.
it's better.
it's better.
Let me move on into this. So, From the Barons, a supernatural horror book by Jay Nunley and Alex Itzios. Here we go. They sat for a few more hours before the noises started up. Well, more like the lack of noises. Wharton State Park was home to an abundant and diverse wildlife. At night, crickets were chirping, frogs were croaking, birds were chirping, and even the occasional yelp of a cougar. This night, nothing made a sound. The two rangers were on the edge of their seats with anxiety, both itching to find the culprit responsible for Taylor's tragic demise. While Brian thought that for sure that it was something natural, he couldn't help but shake the image of the mythical creature from his mind. Rogers opened up his thermal flask and drank some cool water when he heard a faint noise in the distance. "What was that?" he said, grabbing the door handle and stepping out of the truck. The noise sounded somewhere between a howl and a scream, almost blood-curdling. Rogers quickly looked around for a flashlight. He found one next to his seat. He turned it on, panning the woods around them and seeing nothing. "I didn't hear anything. What did you hear?" Brian said, as he also opened the door and stepped out. "Just a weird noise. A shriek or something. Hard to explain." Roger's head was on a swivel, scanning the darkness around him. Brian rolled his eyes behind the captain's back, not wanting him to see the gesture. "I'll keep my eyes open, sir." He began scanning the dark, but not in a serious manner, more lackluster. The noise came again. This time, it was followed by the rustling in the bushes behind them. "Fuck was that?" Brian said, standing and spinning toward the noise. He stepped toward the area he heard it, this time panning the light back on his own flashlight back and forth. The bushes rustled again, this time slightly farther away and to his right, followed by another howl. This time he shined the light where the bushes were. There wasn't much underbush in the forest, as the ground was sandy and didn't allow for anything but the hardiest bushes to survive. The noise came, and this time Brian lit something up with his light. Red eyes stared back at him. They appeared to be roughly 8 feet in the air and simply hovering. The light didn't show anything above or below the eyes. Yeah, and that's where I'm going to leave it. You guys got to listen to the book to find out what happens next.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Definitely.
Oh, shoot. I was hoping you'd go another 24 minutes.
Wow. Really? I was like, I was there. I was in.
I was there too.
Yeah. This was
Phenomenal.
one of my favorite scenes in the book. I mean, like, Jay does a really good job of setting the atmosphere. And me personally, I'm terrified of camping because I feel like we built houses so that we wouldn't have to sleep outside.
Right, right.
And this book put me on the edge of my seat. I was reading this scene. I was like, oh no, here it comes.
That was one of my
Bard,
favorites
you know-
to write, too.
Oh, I gotta go listen to this. I gotta go listen to this because, Bard, your voice and the way you just changed it to those accents, that was phenomenal. I mean, a round of applause to you.
Yeah, thank you.
That was awesome. And the good thing about that is, you know, like, I really didn't give him much direction on what people sounded like. You know, he kind of ran with it. He had ideas and, you know, and would throw them at me. He's like, especially with there's a scene where the creature actually says a few things. And he's like, well, I can add this reverb to it. And I was like, dude, you got it, man. Do whatever you want to do. and when I got to that scene, when I had to, you know, because I had to listen to the book to approve it or whatever, and I'm going through and I'm listening to it, and me and my wife were actually sitting outside, and we're listening to that, and it came to that, and she goes, "Wow, this guy is really good." I was like, "Yep, I told you."
Thank you.
So go ahead, Bart.
That was there's a lot of different scenes in the book that have that same level of tension where you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and they were my favorite ones to act the entire time because you know, like I don't know what's happening because I'm reading the book like in real time. You know, a lot of people suggest, hey, read it beforehand and that way you get a feel for it. No, I was reading it like as I went, so. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time as I'm adding it. So like there would be times where I'd reach like a certain climax and I'd be like, oh man, I gotta go back and add more emphasis in this line and this line because now I know what's being set up.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was a
guys,
lot of
this
fun.
show's over. Thanks for coming by. We got to go listen to an audiobook. Join us next week. No, just kidding.
And speaking of, what's it called? Speaking of, me and Jay do have some giveaway codes
Yes.
for anyone who's interested in listening to the book. We'd be happy to share some codes with you. That way, you get a free copy. There's one catch. You gotta make the Bard a promise that you will leave a positive review.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
That is if you
100%.
truly like it. If you really, really have issues, let them know what it is in
Yeah.
a nice and positive way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But do leave the 5 stars anyway.
Yes.
Right.
It helped, and that's really because that actually helps our book get seen more.
Right.
You know, the more reviews that are on there and the more listens that it has, it's like it just moves it up the rankings. It's the same with the written side of it. You know, the more people read it, the more people review it. You know, the better it climbs in the rankings, and the more. And it's just Amazon's really weird, and they will bury you if you're not
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah, and it's basically a YouTube algorithm is what it is. So I mean, like, you know, any kind of engagement that the book gets, lets people see it more often. You know, it gets recommended the same way that YouTube videos do. So, you know, we're just kind of out here basically saying, hey, come check out our audiobook. You can check the same way that we'd be like, hey, check out our latest video. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to share the link again, but it's trying to kick me out. So
I got it. No need to worry. I got the book link. Give me just a second.
I don't know if you can post it. You're not
I am ready for this.
Are you a mod?
I'm not a mod, but I can put it in the chat here, and then if you guys want to share it.
Okay.
All right. Am I a
Thank
mod?
you.
I don't even know. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I am, because this is the Nevermore Collective. But I have to post as the Nevermore Collective, and I'm not presently that. Presently, I am Serafin the Midnight Bard. So let me go ahead and post this here in the Discord.
Yes, Bard. Raven just said you have your own show here on the Nevermore Collective. So
That's
yes,
true.
you can
So you
post
should
your
be
link.
able to.
Yes, in the chat.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So
Yes.
that link there is the link to the audiobook on Audible. And if you're interested, everyone listening, I mean, we do have some giveaway codes for you. I mean, be sure to DM the Bard, and you know, I'd be happy to share those with you, or you know, get in touch with Jay on his Twitter. We'd be happy to share.
We can make a little game of it.
Yeah, let's make
Absolutely.
a game of it. I'm 100% down.
Yeah,
Do you
because I
wanna
just
do
sent
something
Bart
as-
some codes anyway, so he could
You
put
want to
them
do
up.
something as silly as pick the number or guess the color?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, Seraphine, pick a number between 1 and 33.
Thank you for not including my age in there.
I never go past 33 because I stopped
25.
aging.
I got
Now
All
you
right.
tell everybody your number. Now they can't guess it.
Oh, I can guess another number.
Is it 25?
No.
No, not
Whoever
anymore.
guesses the correct number will get a free code. And while Bart is thinking of his number, Jay, you pick a color, but don't tell us. And then we'll have the chat pick a number and a color, and we'll see who gets it. Is that where you were going, Filia?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking basic colors here, not, like chartreuse
Aw.
or puce.
This right?
All right.
Secondary
Okay.
and tertiary colors only.
All
Okay,
right.
ready, set, go, chat. We need a number and a color.
Right. Everybody in chat, pick a number and a color. And whoever
And
gets closer on the
Jay,
number and
yep.
closer on the color.
and we'll let Jay and Bard say who it is.
Raven, you can't guess.
Now,
Yes, he
wait a
can.
minute.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Okay, he can.
So, out of curiosity, does Jay have only the color and I have only the number, or are we
Yes,
each choosing
yes.
it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do they have to get the combination right, or
No.
do they just have to get
No.
one of them right?
Okay,
One
just
of them right. Just one of them.
Never mind. Forget I said anything, Raven.
Raven,
Wombat is not a number.
He's like, why the hell not?
Derringer, wombat is not a number.
A number. It's not a number. And it's not a color.
It's
Well, the
no.
wombats are the only animal that poops in cube form.
Right? Wow.
Ugh.
That's...
And they make a god-awful noise because a wombat will go straight up in the sky, and then as they're free falling, they make this oh sound.
Patience got the color.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Okay, so
Now-
patience gets a code. So we're
So
still doing
pace-
numbers, everybody.
Yep. We need a
Oh.
number.
I pick a number between 1 and 33.
Christine got the number. She got 15.
Okay.
Okay.
So each
Yeah.
of them gets a code.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah, just use those codes I sent you, Bard.
Yeah, of course. Jay sent me a couple of codes over, so if you guys have Audible, you can use these codes to redeem a free copy of our book.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So my next question after this, go ahead, Bard.
So I was gonna say if y'all, I don't know if I should post the number here in the chat or if Christine and Patience want to get in touch with me on Twitter, I'll be happy to send them to you.
Yeah, we can do that. Or or I can get you in touch with Christine, and Raven can get you in touch with his wife.
Right. There you go.
I would hope so.
I know that me,
Right.
Raven, and Patience are gonna be in a game in a week or two, but I think I can reach out to them here over message. Yes, I do. Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
She says okie dokie.
I can get a code to Chris.
Awesome.
So, Bard and Jay, you both have been very, very bad boys, and you're on death row.
I
What
knew
would
it
your
would end like
last?
this.
Yes. What would your last meal be, and what would your method of execution be? And
Preferred
why?
method of execution.
Yes, preferred.
Nerf bullets don't count.
Oh, come on. That would be a very slow. Oh man, that's almost a water torture kind of death there.
Yeah, it would be.
Just a Nerf gun to the head over and over and over. Oh man. As far as a meal, man, I don't know. Probably like chicken and dumplings or something like that. Something that's very filling. Those nice home cooked Southern meals, as those boys like to have.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
Southern boy.
yeah.
So
I could make a great chicken and dumpling.
yeah, my
You
kids
are a
love mine.
dumpling.
They love it when I make chicken and dumplings.
Huh?
So I would make that just because it would also remind me of my children and stuff like that. But it's a method of death. Man, give me the guillotine.
Yes.
Yes.
Quick,
One more for the guillotine.
quick, and get it over with.
Right? So what
Your
about you,
cannibal, will they
Bard?
grant you your wish? No, they don't, Gamma. As a matter of fact, there have been cannibals, and they did not get. If you can't make a decent choice, they feed you whatever they're serving that night in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Give me just a
Okay.
second here. I'm typing out the code.
Okay. So
All right. So we're talking about last meal and then favored method of execution. Is that right?
yes.
Yes.
Preferred. Yes.
Preferred method.
Preferred method. Okay. So if I was gonna, let's see, be executed, I guess I would want to eat something exciting, not something really boring. I would want as many flavors as possible. So I guess, I don't know, man. Like, I keep wanting to say like a really, really big bacon burger, but at the same time, it's like, nah, I have that every day. I need to try something a little more, a little different. So I think I would go with Chinese food, but not like, not just like one item out of like a restaurant, but
You
like
want
the
a
way that
tasting
you.
menu.
Exactly. I want like the
I gotcha.
whole shebang. Like, with the fried rice, I want the fried rice. I want the chow mein. I want 3 different kinds of chicken and, beef and veggies, stuff like that. I want to get a taste of
buffet.
everything. Exactly.
Heck yeah.
I want to go to a buffet before I die. Yes. And
I was thinking dim sum, which is Japanese, but yeah.
yeah,
I love dim sum
100%.
Chinese.
I would also. I recently found out that I love Arby's. I didn't know that I did beforehand, but I made a joke about Arby's, and then everybody's just kind of that I liked it, and I had to explain to them that I'd never had it. And immediately after I said that, they said, "What? You gotta fix that immediately. You gotta go." And for like 3 days afterwards, I would go to Arby's once for every meal and try everything. I tried everything, and I found out that they do in fact have the meats, like literally all of them.
Yes.
You can order a
Quick,
sandwich with all of the
right.
meats on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I mean, I do enjoy it.
Hey, Wendigo, quick, on the new server, change Bard's name to the Arby tree. Thanks.
All right.
Now,
The Arby's tree. There we go.
All right.
No.
Let me find him. There he is.
The Arby's tree.
God.
I will do it too.
My daughter worked at an Arby's for like 2 years. And
There we go.
I kind of got really sick of eating Arby's.
I love
I mean,
Arby's.
they still have a couple of things that I really like when they come out with their the barbecue brisket. That's really good.
I love the
And
cheddar.
a couple other things, but for the most part, I'm kind of done with Arby's.
What's your favorite?
Their cinnamon caramel milkshake that they had during Christmas. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, I gotta try that.
Oh,
Oh,
hopefully they'll come out with it again next year.
I hope so.
It was
Thanks,
so
sis.
good.
Oh,
And their cookie butter. If they come back out with the cookie butter milkshake, which is made from snickerdoodles.
oh no.
Yeah.
Yes. What's your favorite there, Bard? Since you've tried it all.
I love the gyro.
Yes.
The traditional
Yeah.
Greek one.
Yeah, the traditional Greek one with the lamb.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really,
Yes.
really good. I like it.
That is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and Mediterranean
And-
food is actually my favorite. So I mean, like when I found out that they made a gyro and it wasn't half bad, I was like, wow, this is kind of
Right?
impressive. I like this.
Their tzatziki sauce is good too.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Their tiki sauce. Oh yes.
I need to eat there more often.
Yeah.
But they don't have potato cakes anymore.
I
They
know.
No,
switched
they
them for
don't.
crinkle cut
Sad.
fries.
No.
And
I
although
like
I
them.
like, I like crinkle cut fries, I like potato cakes. Oldest daughter years ago had her birthday and wanted Arby's for dinner.
So before we end the show, do you, Bard or Jay, have a question for any of us?
Yeah. Like, what would your last meal and preferred method of execution be?
Well, I would
mine,
want
by the
dim
way.
engagement. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to say, but mine would
Oh,
be
go ahead.
I would want them to throw me into a gladiator arena to fight a tiger.
Oh,
Yes, my
that's a
tiger.
new one.
That
Yeah.
is a new one.
Is a
We've
new
never had
one.
both tiger and gladiator. Those are both new.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's all about the spectacle.
right. It is.
There
It
you
is all about.
go.
I just watched Pompeii and he said that.
And we'll let
It's all
Jay
about the
and-
spectacle. Well, I personally would want dim sum because it's literally like tiny little bites of everything.
Mhm.
And it takes a long time to do dim sum. When you go and have dim sum, you need to plan for like 3 hours. And then guillotine. I'm team guillotine.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm team
Yeah.
guillotine.
I cannot
My-
give mine yet, as of right now, because I have not been on the show as a guest yet. But when that happens, I will give that out.
Okay.
Interview, Jay, are you serious? You've been on the show this many times covering for my ass, and you haven't been interviewed?
Nope.
I'm being interviewed this month, actually.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well then, hold yours. We'll get to you.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we
I've
had
been for a while now.
I'm sorry. I thought you were interviewed while I was gone.
No.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I've been interviewed on Traveler's Tavern.
Okay. Okay.
I would have to go with tacos and enchiladas, homemade tortillas and beans, and I'd have to go with the guillotine.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Some good chili rellenos would be really good.
Oh, right.
My mom makes the best chili rellenos. Now I want chili rellenos.
Yeah, y'all keep it up. We can get hashtag Team Guillotine trending here.
Yeah. We could.
Everybody hashtag Team Guillotine. I should have Fearsome Hero make a
arena.
Yes. We should have Fearsome or Bard create a hashtag Team Guillotine.
No, this is an important question. Gama Akutabi asks, barehanded or with a weapon for the tiger?
Yes.
I think that would depend on the severity of my crime.
Well, you're being put to death.
You're being put to death, so.
I mean, there's no chance of you winning if it's a death sentence. So
I guess not.
Barehanded.
Part of me was kind of like, okay, well, they give you a weapon if you have the possibility of being pardoned, you know. But I guess if it's a death sentence, then yeah, barehanded.
Oh.
But at that
point,
ruggedness.
If I am going barehanded and I win, I demand to be set free, though.
That's true.
You would be. You would be.
You earned it.
You earned it.
Unnecessarily. The Emperor could still downvote you.
Oh, that's terrible.
And the thing is,
after I've eaten all this Arby's, after I've eaten all this Arby's, that tiger's gonna have a good meal off me, man. He's gonna be like, this guy tastes like every type of meat.
Oh my God!
He's just looking for the au jus to dip you in. Oh man!
Oh my God! Well, everyone, it's about that time, so we're gonna let. Yeah, this has been amazing. But Wendigo, we're gonna let you say your final words, then Filia, and then I'll close the show.
Okay. Well, let the boys have their final words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bard, Jay, any final words for the group?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Filia.
I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity to come on here and talk about the book and talk with all of y'all. This has been an outstanding opportunity, and I wish you guys all the best.
Well, thank you. You too. Buy the book, everybody.
Buy the book, everyone.
Yeah, buy my book.
Yes, and I had a blast reading The Barons. I really did, and I put a lot of work into it, but I also had a lot of fun with it. And I feel like anyone listening, you're gonna have fun listening, and so yeah, definitely check it out.
Awesome.
Nice.
Wendigo.
I'd like to thank the chat for coming and watching the show. I would like to thank Raven, Cece, and Filia for having me come on the show again as a host. And I'd like to thank Bard and Jay for coming onto the show and letting us interview y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would like to thank Cece for once again bearing with me in my never know if I can be here schedule because of the headaches. But we made it this week. Yay!
Yes.
And Wendigo, thanks for being here in case I couldn't be here. And Jay and Bard, it was wonderful to interview you. Bard, I always love interviewing you.
Thank
Had
you.
a blast, as always. I knew it would be fun. Chat, thank you. Patience, thank you for letting us borrow your man. And Raven, thanks for doing the things you do for us. You're wonderful. Okay, Cece.
Okay, everyone. Again, remember, go to Being Scared's Twitter, find the tweet that says "Attention Authors," follow his subreddit, submit some true stories to him And if he uses them, it's a win-win for everyone. Join us next, join us next week as we will have Willow the Schizo along with Dr. Grimm. A huge thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Patience, again. Raven, you're amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Filia and Lindigo, for being here again this week with me. You guys totally are awesome and totally rock. Jay and Bard, thank you both for being here. Awesome answers. Awesome interview. You guys are the best.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was awesome.
So
Awesome,
until
awesome,
next,
awesome.
yes, awesome. So until next week, remember, stay frightened, and if you listen, the graves always whisper. And once you join the collective,
you can leave
nevermore. Good night, everyone.